Hello, this is a live demo of my project for the web development with NoSQL course, which will be about library management system, presented by myself, Talal Amr. This video will be split into two parts. The first part will be showcasing the website and its functionalities, and the second part will be explaining the code, the Django code behind it. The first thing you will get when you open the URL link is this page. This will be the home page, which will have the list of all the books. As you can see, some of the books can be borrowed. They have their status as available, and therefore there will be a borrow button under them, which the user can click in order to borrow them. While other books have their status as already borrowed, so there will be no button inside the cart. There is also a available books page, which acts like a filter to all the books, but it only shows the books available to borrow. The same thing applies to the borrowed books page, but it's the opposite. In this page, however, more information about the borrower, such as the borrower name and the ID, can be shown. The borrow date and return date can also be found in this page. As you can see at the top right corner, there is a login system in which the user can log in, and not all the website features are available for guest users. So in order to have access to all features, the user must log in. So to log in, you just click the login button. It will redirect to the login page. Or if a certain feature requires a login, for example, borrowing a book, it requires a login. So whenever you try to borrow it, it will also redirect you to the login page. The same thing applies to adding a new book. When you click on this link, it will prompt you to put your login information. So by putting the login information, the page can be accessed, as you can see. The same thing applies to adding a new book. In order to borrow a book, you just simply search for the desired book you want to borrow. Click the borrow button. It will redirect you to the borrows page. And inside it, you just need to fill in your details. So your student ID, your name, email address, and phone. And click submit. So, and then it will redirect you to the borrowed books page where you can see the transaction you just committed, the borrow transaction. Once the return date has been reached, the system will automatically change the book status to available, and the entry of the user who borrowed the book will be removed from the borrowed books page. Another feature is to add a new book. So in order to add a new book, you just simply go to the add new book section. It will redirect you to this page, and you can add the book details. And once this is done, it will appear in the available books section. So in this section, I will explain the Django code for running the website. As you can see in the top left, this is the folder structure of the project. There is the features, the add book feature, the borrow book feature, the main folder for the settings and URLs, the users feature, which was used for the login, and the view books feature. The first feature is to add a new book. As you can see, it contains only one HTML page, which is to display the add new book form. As you can see in this line. The form consists of or takes from the user a title, an ISBN, an author's name, a publish year, and a number of pages. The views.py takes in the form data and creates a new book instance and saves it to the database. The second application for my project is called Borrow Book. It contains two HTML pages. The first one is to show all the borrowed books as a list to the user. And the second HTML page is to allow the user to borrow a certain book. This page will show the details of the book that the user wants to borrow and will display a form that the user must fill in order to complete the borrowing process. The borrower's class will consist of a student ID, a name, an email, a phone number, a borrow date, return date, ISBN, and book title. In the views.py, the book item that the user chose will be returned. And then from the form, the data such as the student ID, name, email, and phone will be retrieved. The borrow date will automatically be assigned as today's date, and the return date will automatically be assigned 30 days after today's date. Once all of this information is calculated, a new borrower object or instance is created, and it saves in the database. And then the page redirects to the borrow books. The second function is to retrieve all the borrowed books. So in order to do this, all the borrower objects get retrieved from the database and then get checked. If the return date has already passed, then it sets the book status to available and removes the entry from the borrower's collection. If it hasn't passed, it displays it in the web page. The next application for the project is called Users. It uses the login built-in functionality by Django, and it only calls in the form to display the login page. The last application is called ViewBox. It contains two HTML pages, as you can see. The first one being ViewBox, which is also considered as the home page. It displays all the books and the book details alongside it. And the next HTML page is called View Available Books. So it does the same thing, however, it only displays the available books. The class for a book requires an ISBN, a title, a publish year, a number of pages, an author, and a status. In the views.py, to generate the full book list, I just retrieve all the books from the database and return it in the page. In order to generate only the available book list, the same thing occurs. However, I just check if the status is available. If so, it gets displayed. If not, it gets removed from the page. I hope this demo video was useful for you and guided you more about my project. And I want to thank you for your valuable time.